Prospecting and lead follow-up. Everyone's got the same issue. But hey, Justin, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you. So his morning goes sideways with agents kind of asking questions or stuff that enters his inbox, an offer that he thinks he needs to deal with. Here's what I know. So if for those of you that still are prospecting for business, which is really most of my clients are still in the point where they're prospecting for business. And even Stacy. So Stacy and Tyler have their world split a little bit. Stacy's operations, but she really still needs to be prospecting past clients and her sphere and whatnot. If your children's life depended on you prospecting 8 a.m. to 9:30, so 8 to 9:30 local time every day, I promise you would do it, right? Nobody would even think twice about it. But here's what I know is that you would make sure your agents clearly understood that your children's lives depend on 5 time blocks of 90 minutes. And you wouldn't be late. You would be sitting at your desk 10 to 8, ready to prospect at 8. And you wouldn't stop early because there's so much at stake. 2 things I promise. Your business would triple. But nothing else would happen. Like your agents would understand that they just don't have access to you until 9:30. And you would organize that 9:30 to 10 time block in a way. You would have your email off at 5 minutes to 8. You would give your phone to your assistant. You wouldn't be allowed to do anything except outbound dial. It's just giving it, that's the most important thing that needs to happen in your business. So if you gave it, I have a client, Matt, I think Matt's on. And I used to play these, I had a coach with Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins is really good at attaching emotion to like everything. So for me, physical fitness only became like the first thing I focus on when I attached a lot of emotion to it. The 2 things is being like a kick-ass father to my children, like being that dad that can like wrestle with his kids and pick them up when they're 100 pounds and just having all the physical energy to do that. And I also want to live long enough to definitely see their children, but maybe have a shot at seeing their children's children. And I did the math, and it requires some early marriages, but I think when I'm like 92 or something, I've got a shot at having grandchildren. Or great grandchildren rather. And the other thing for me is my dad. He has a stroke. His life is miserable now. He's just, in a bad situation. So for me, I've got a lot of emotion attached to working out when I think of those 2 things. I now work out at 5:30 a.m. So I'm up at 5 a.m. every day. It's easy for me to get out of bed because I think of those 2 things. So Matt, we did this thing where, he has to really be laser focused. He's got 4 children. He's a sole income earner. And he wants to get stuff done before his family gets up and going. He's got a couple hours there where everyone is silent and in bed, where he can really kick ass and move his life forward from a fitness perspective and also from business development and just personal development and reading. And he's a believer, so he's got time for Bible reading and stuff like that. So he's got a picture of his family with a caption. And I think it says, "Daddy, I can cry thinking of it. But I'm a pretty sappy guy. Daddy, we're counting on you." Is that what it says, Matt? Just give me a yes if that was close. Yeah. So it says, "We're depending on you, Daddy." I mean, so he's got this little, picture he hand wrote or typed out, "We're depending on you, Daddy." So you think when his alarm goes off at 5 a.m. because he's got 2 hours of shit to do to build a better life for his family 1, 2, 3, 5 years from now, when he looks at that picture, do you think he's going to hesitate to jump out of bed? I played this game where, and I still have it at my real estate office, and it was with respect to prospecting. I committed to time blocks with my coach, and we decided that this was when I was building a team. So I had agents and I was doing everything and life was crazy. And I had the same problem, and I committed to, and there's lots of ways you can play this game. So you can give money to someone you hate. You can give money to a charity that you despise. You can give money to a kill shelter if you're a dog lover. Something painful. For me, it was ripping up a $20 bill. That was enough where I did it 3 times, but I played a game. I had like 7 time blocks for prospecting. If I wasn't picking up the phone at 8 a.m., my time block started. I had a stack of $20 bills at my computer, and I would have to rip one up. It doesn't take many of those for you to be in integrity with a commitment that you've made. And there's like a handful of things like that that are as important as that in your business. Forget the family for now, or your personal stuff. But there's a handful of things that are that important that you should have a little emotion, not a little emotion, a lot of emotion behind. And I do think new business generation is one of those things that everyone on your team has to understand. Justin, if everyone on your team took the same attitude toward prospecting, and they took advantage of the 1 time block every day, well, 2 every day, 8 to 9 a.m. and 4 to 5 p.m., if everyone was prospecting it from 8 to 9:30, then no one could bother you, right? So that's one way to look at it also, is that your agents have to know that is your sacred time. It's the equivalent of you, I don't know. It's as if you were on a listing appointment every day from 8 to 9:30. Really, nobody has access to you on a listing appointment, right? I mean, if your wife were to text you and there was an emergency, she might get access to you. But it's like you have a listing appointment every day from 8 to 9:30. Nothing happens until you're out of that appointment. And I promise you, if a deal came in at 11:30 or 9 p.m. and you didn't deal with it the night before, which you shouldn't, nobody's going to know or care that you didn't touch it until 9:30.